While the grand strategy game genre is not for everyone, those who enjoy the idea of conquering the world, past, present, or future, often end up spending hundreds of hours staring at maps while plotting their next masterstroke. Many of the best grand strategy games are often played out over centuries of engaging historical time periods, with some games leaning into the immersion and roleplay aspects of these areas. Fantasy and sci-fi grand strategy games also exist for those players looking to divide and conquer with magic or future technology, though these are more rare. There are also games that delve much deeper into the strategy side of things, and while these games will naturally come with steep learning curves, the payoff is well worth the investment. Welcome to Game Rant, everyone. My name is Geoffrey. Today, let's take a look at 10 of the best grand strategy games of all time. Number 10, Knights of Honor. Despite having outdated pixelated graphics, the core gameplay of Knights of Honor still holds up today. Players can engage in both real-time battles and sieges, as well as achieve their goals with complex schemes and diplomacy. To expand their area of influence, players must first build up their economy by developing their estates and keeping the people happy. Fostering a retinue of loyal knights is also vital to success, as they play an especially important role in the game. The beauty of the game is that there are so many ways to achieve victory, or even just have some fun. Number 9, Crusader Kings 2. Although Crusader Kings 2 has now given way to its successor, its legacy as one of the greatest grand strategy games of all time is still firmly cemented. For many players, Crusader Kings 2 served as an introduction to the grand strategy genre, with players throwing themselves into the much more approachable Middle Ages. While not as good for roleplay as its successor, the game is perfect for grand military conquests that feel all the more epic when the iconic soundtrack kicks in. One advantage it currently holds over Crusader Kings 3 is that the game has been fully fleshed out with DLC, meaning those with access can experience the full flavor of the medieval world, no matter which realm they take the reins of. Crusader Kings 2 is also now free to play, pretty much a rarity in this genre. Number 8, Total War Rome 2. Not only is Total War Rome 2 one of the best grand strategy games of all time, but it is also by far one of the best games for fans of Roman history, packed full of detail and iconic locations. Like other Total War games, it combines grand strategy with epic real-time battles. In the campaign mode, players can take on the role of an emerging Rome and try to conquer the rest of the Italian peninsula and beyond. They will have to recruit soldiers and plan marches before heading into battle and arranging their units, all of which can be controlled individually. Number 7, Victoria 3. As the name Victoria 3 implies, Paradox Interactive's grand strategy title is the third installment of the series and lets players explore the Victorian era. A playthrough can span a century, starting in 1836 and ending in 1936, with players having multiple options over the direction they wish to lead their nation in. Whether the aim is to become an economic powerhouse, a global threat, or the definition of culture, this transformative era allows players to reshape the history of the world to their liking. As Victoria 3 is relatively fresh off the shelves, it still has plenty of potential to be fleshed out further with expansion packs. Number 6, Hearts of Iron 4. While many grand strategy games take place in the distant past or in future worlds that cannot even be imagined yet, Hearts of Iron 4 is set during the more recent events of World War II. It's far from unique in this respect, but the developers managed to find a way to put their own spin on things. For better or worse, Hearts of Iron 4 is known for being one of the most hardcore grand strategy games, with complex mechanics which are hard to get to grips with at first. As players come to terms with the reality of global war, they will have to manage their troops and resources wisely. Number 5, Stellaris. When compared to other grand strategy games, especially those from developer Paradox Interactive, Stellaris is in a world of its own, quite literally. Whereas other grand strategy games tend to take place in historical real-world contexts, Stellaris is set in a futuristic sci-fi galaxy full of aliens. Interestingly, in the early stages of the game, Stellaris plays out more like a 4X game, with players first expanding their intergalactic borders, before transitioning to phases that require more focus on the strategy side of things. There are also real-time strategy elements to Stellaris, which can be perfect for those who crave more action. Number 4, Total War Warhammer 2. While most Total War games take place in historical settings, one of the best Total War games is Total War Warhammer 2. The 2017 title allows players to experience the famed fantasy tabletop game on screen, which naturally makes a huge difference. Although the highlights of the game may be its fantasy real-time battles, the lead up to war and organization on the map both incorporate grand strategy elements. Fans of fantasy will be glad to know the game has both a prequel and a sequel, but Total War Warhammer 2 remains the most well-rounded out of the three. Number 3. Europa Universalis 4. Grand strategy players looking to go beyond the Middle Ages, into the Renaissance, up to the early modern period, need look no further than Europa Universalis 4. From industry giants Paradox Interactive, this game allows players to reshape global history through trade, colonization, and so much more. Although Europa Universalis 4 was released way back in 2013, it still stands the test of time and has been complemented with many expansion packs over the years. True to its time period, the game has beautiful aesthetics and is slightly easier to get into than other titles. Number 2. Civilization 6. Civilization 6 is the latest installment in the illustrious franchise that perfectly combines the 4X genre with that of grand strategy. Starting as tribal leaders of their nation, players will have to explore and expand before turning their attention to wider strategies. There are multiple ways to earn victory, such as domination through war, pioneering the latest technology, and even through the dissemination of culture. Civilization 6 is also one of the best grand strategy games to play with friends, though loyalties may be tested at times. Number 1. Crusader Kings 3. Crusader Kings 3 is the third installment of Paradox Interactive's flagship series, and without a doubt is one of the very best grand strategy games of all time. Set in the Middle Ages, players choose a starting ruler and set about conquering neighboring kingdoms through guile, brawn, or any way they see fit. As long as their heir is of their dynasty, they will continue their journey after death, in playthroughs that can cover centuries. What makes Crusader Kings 3 stand out from other grand strategy games, and even its own predecessors, is how well it incorporates roleplay into the genre. The stress mechanic that rewards players for making decisions that align with their character's personality makes every life feel unique. Players will truly feel the strain placed on a medieval ruler as they attempt to balance the needs of the realm with their own desires. As more and more mechanics and flavor are added with each DLC expansion and free update, Crusader Kings 3 grows ever greater. And there we have it, the 10 very best grand strategy games of all time. Thank you so much for watching this video from Game Rant. Have a truly wonderful and happy day. See you in the next video. Bye bye.